Have you ever felt like the universe is trying to tell you something, but no one around you seems to get it? Ever thought of someone and they texted you that very minute? Seen the same number pop up again and again in a single day? Or heard the same exact phrase in completely different places? You're not losing it. And yes, this means something. Something way deeper than you think. What most people call coincidence is actually code. Codes that only show up when you're vibrating at the right frequency. The problem is, when this starts happening, most people get scared. They doubt their sanity. They brush it off. But ignoring it is like closing your eyes right as the universe opens a door. There's real intelligence behind these signs. And if you keep treating it like just your imagination, you'll miss out on massive opportunities for growth, expansion, and even a whole new direction in life. And no, this isn't guesswork. There are real studies, powerful personal experiences, and stories from world-renowned figures who've gone through the exact same thing and used synchronicities to transform everything around them. The truth is, the universe is always speaking to you. The real question is, are you paying attention? Because if you are, what comes next might just change the way you see life from now on. There are moments in life when everything seems to conspire to tell you something. You think of someone, and they show up. A specific number keeps appearing. A name, a song, a phrase repeats itself in different places, in unrelated situations. No, you're not imagining things. These coincidences are real, and they carry deep meaning. They don't show up randomly. They're symbolic windows opened by your unconscious, trying to reveal what your rational mind hasn't caught onto yet. Carl Jung called this synchronicity, and believe me, he was way ahead of his time. According to Jung, the collective unconscious holds layers of information that don't fade over time. So when you start noticing coincidences more often, it may be a clear sign that something much deeper is trying to surface. It's like the universe is whispering, hey, pay attention to this. And here's the strange part. The more you ignore it, the stronger it gets. Like when you dream about water, and the next day someone brings up the sea, rain, and rivers, all in one conversation. There's a pattern trying to be seen, and once you recognize it, everything begins to shift. And no, you don't have to be mystical to get it. Think of your brain like a radar. It picks up what you're putting out and translates it into symbols. If you're in a phase of doubt, for example, the universe might use coincidences to guide you. And that has everything to do with what those signs are trying to say. Noticing this is the first step to realizing that nothing happening right now is just normal. On the contrary, it's the beginning of something much bigger, something deeply connected to what you feel, what you radiate, and what you attract. And that brings us to an even more fascinating point: how the universe actually responds to you. Have you ever noticed how, when you're in a good mood, everything just seems to flow more smoothly? People smile more. Opportunities pop up out of nowhere. Even traffic seems to cooperate. That's not luck. That's your vibrational energy in action. Everything you feel, think, and desire emits a frequency, and the universe responds directly to that frequency. The coincidences you experience are often subtle responses to the invisible field of energy you're putting out. It's like the universe is a mirror, reflecting back exactly what you're vibrating internally, whether you're aware of it or not. So if you're constantly worried, anxious, or negative, guess what shows up over and over again? Situations, people, and signs that match that same vibration. The meaning behind signs completely shifts when your energy shifts. But the opposite is also true. When you begin to cultivate thoughts aligned with gratitude, clarity, and purpose, synchronicities show up more often and with more meaning. You attract answers, messages, and even solutions to things that once felt stuck or impossible. That's vibrational physics, not magic. Want some proof? Start your day with the intention of seeing beauty in everything. Walk with presence. Breathe deeply. Really listen to what people say. Watch the signs on street corners, in music, in social media posts. You'll start to notice patterns forming. And then something incredible happens. You realize that these coincidences aren't random at all. They're personalized energetic codes designed to match what you're ready to see. And if you thought that was powerful, wait until you notice what happens when those coincidences start showing up over and over again. When you keep seeing the same number every day, or start bumping into the same person in different places, or hear the same exact phrase come out of completely different people's mouths, that's not paranoia. It's a calling. The universe uses repetition as a spiritual megaphone. These recurring coincidences are like cosmic arrows pointing you towards something that needs to be understood urgently. They're like waking dreams. You're not crazy, you're waking up. These synchronicities are actually hidden invitations to step into a journey of expanded awareness. And no, you don't need to be a monk meditating on a mountaintop to notice them. Here's a practical example. Let's say you've been thinking about moving to a new city, but fear is holding you back. Suddenly, the name of that city keeps showing up in movies, random conversations, Instagram videos. That's a vibrational nudge. It's the universe's way of saying, look closer, there's an answer in this pattern. The key is to stop, observe, and ask yourself, what is this trying to show me? If you start writing down these coincidences, you'll begin to see a story unfold, your story, one you may have forgotten how to listen to. This repetition isn't punishment or madness, it's revelation. Each sign is a piece of the puzzle your spirit has been trying to assemble for a long time. Spiritual awakening doesn't come with fireworks. It begins in the tiny details that repeat again and again until you finally stop and listen. Some call them divine signs. Others call it quantum vibration. The name doesn't matter. What matters is this: you're being prepared to see the world through completely new eyes. And guess who else experienced this unfolding in their own lives and were never the same after? It might seem like this kind of experience only happens to people deeply immersed in spirituality. But the truth is, even world-famous individuals have openly talked about coincidences and synchronicities that changed their lives. Take Jim Carrey, for example. He once shared that he wrote himself a symbolic check for $10 million, and years later, he received exactly that amount for a movie role in Hollywood. Was that just a coincidence? Or was the universe responding to his vibrational energy? The meaning behind the signs doesn't always come with a manual, but it does come with precision. Oprah Winfrey is another powerful example. She often says her biggest life decisions came after a series of synchronicities she simply couldn't ignore. From repeated phrases in books to random encounters with key people, everything felt orchestrated by a higher force. And she always says, the universe speaks, it whispers before it shouts. These real-life stories don't just validate what so many people feel quietly inside. They prove that paying attention to coincidences can unlock doors you never even saw before. After all, who wouldn't want to understand the meaning behind something that keeps showing up in their life? Even Carl Jung, a scientist by nature, couldn't resist the magnetism of these events. He documented cases of patients who saw the same symbols in dreams and then encountered them in waking life. Jung believed these signs had purpose. He saw them as a dialogue between the conscious and unconscious, manifesting through reality itself. And that's where the real gold is, realizing that what happens outside reflects what's going on inside. And once you truly get that, you can't unsee it. The next step? Learning how to respond the right way when these signs knock on your door. When a coincidence shows up, especially when it repeats, it's not enough to just say, "Wow, that's interesting," and keep moving like nothing happened. That's like getting a sealed letter from the universe and throwing it away without opening it. The first step: pause. For real. Take a deep breath. Pay attention to what's happening around you. Where are you? What were you thinking about just now? Who's with you? These details matter. The context holds clues. Coincidences are encrypted messages, and the meaning behind them only reveals itself to those willing to slow down and observe. After you notice something, write it down. Yes, actually write it. Use a notebook, your phone, anything. Record the coincidence, the time, and how it made you feel. This turns something abstract into something tangible. Over time, you'll start to see patterns. And when those patterns start to form, the puzzle pieces begin to fit. A phrase that repeats, a symbol that keeps showing up in different places, a sudden emotion that sparks out of nowhere. All of it is revealing deeper layers of your own story, and if you want to go even further, try asking the magic question: what is this trying to teach me right now? Finally, reflect and take action. More often than not, the answer to an old question is hiding in the small stuff. If you've been dreaming about starting something new and suddenly everyone around you starts talking about it, maybe that's the universe saying, "Go." Read books that align with the theme. The Power of Now or The Alchemist are great ones. Meditate on it. Talk to people you trust, because when you act with awareness, the universe responds with even more clarity. And just like that, coincidences stop being curiosities and become an active part of your awakening. So tell me, are you still going to call all of this just a coincidence? Or are you finally ready to recognize the calling? Because now that you know what these signs mean, you can't pretend it's all just randomness anymore. And if you made it this far, it wasn't by accident. This content showed up in your life for a reason. Another synchronicity, another wake-up call, placed right in front of you by the universe. Now it's up to you. Are you going to apply this to your life? Will you start observing, writing things down, reflecting, and taking conscious action on the signs you're receiving? Or are you going to let this chance pass, like it's just another video on your screen? Pay attention. The answers you've been searching for might have been circling around you for a long time, just disguised as coincidences. But now that you see it, you're responsible for what you do with this awareness. Will you ignore it, or will you transform through it? Will you keep moving on autopilot, or will you align with the vibrational energy that brings you closer to the life you actually want to live? Think about it. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever experienced a synchronicity that made you stop and think, this can't just be a coincidence. And of course, if this content hit home for you, if it woke something up inside you, if it gave you that mental click you didn't even know you needed, then hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this message today. Because once you understand the signs, life changes, and it changes for good.